Hey guys, it's Rob and Matt here at Take Action.
Hey guys.
So Matt is out here helping us today. We had a little whoopsie with Kevin.
Yeah, so Kevin, we gave Kevin a hammer, and that's what happens.
He's beefy. So we've got a couple of holes to patch. I've got a couple of little imperfections here. We can show how to fix that, and then this little hammer hole. So do you have boys by any chance?
I have actually 4 boys that do stuff like this, and hanging pictures, does stuff like that. So I patch these quite often.
Okay. Well, I'm ready for your advice. How do we fix this?
All right. So the easiest fix is if you have holes from hanging pictures and or just scuffing the wall up a little bit. These are real easy fixes where you can go to Menards or actually even Walmart or Target and get a nice little patch. So you can get some spackle, comes in small containers. They actually make it in a tube as well, that on the back side of the tube has a little built-in scraper with it.
Look
so
at
you
that.
can actually smooth that out. All right, so these, nice and easy to do. You get a good little amount on there, and you can come right over the top of them. You can goop it up, and you just scrape it down. Same thing with your picture hanging holes. Put a good amount over the top of it. And the beauty of this stuff is when it's ready to come back, and you just take a little sander to it. You take a little sander to it. This will turn nice and white for you. It's pink to begin with, but when it dries nice and white, and you can go back and you can sand that down just as smooth as can be.
Should anybody be worried about these little bubbles that are showing when you put the first coat on?
That's the beauty of it, is the bubble is the nice thing. So that fill-in part is you'll go through and you'll sand that down smooth. You'll take that right off the top there, because what this plaster does is it shrinks a little bit when it dries.
Cool. So this is DAP Dry Decks. It does start pink and then dries white, like Matt said, which is pretty slick.
All right, so for your larger holes, that can happen from a door swinging into the wall. You know how your doorknob hits the wall? If it hits it too many times, kids swinging the doors open too far and smashing into the wall happens in my house way too often. You can go and you can get the larger joint compound here. This is an all-purpose one. Comes in a green. It's nice, ready to use when you get it. And you can also get these little patch kits. This one here is about 4x4, and goes right over the top of it. So it's nice and easy to do, and you use your same, very similar little putty knife to do it. So here we go. All right, so you can come through and put a nice, generous amount around the outside of this.
So why are you putting it around the outside of the hole, Matt?
So we'll put it around the outside of the hole so that our little patch kit has something to stick to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I will show you in a second here how that'll you take that there, and this can be a little bit messy. So go around it and get her to stick down.
So it just squishes right through the holes.
Yep, squishes right through. So it's nice, and you just take your excess, you can just keep your little nice handy pail with you. You scrape that down to get that all to come through. All the way around it, okay? Get it so it sits in there nice. Get her on there, and now you can come back, put a little extra on. Come around the outside of your stuff, and you don't need to be a pro to do this by any means, because the beauty of it is the sandpaper. You're gonna come back and sand this a little bit too.
Okay, so how much do we have stuck into this so far? We've got drywall mud for $3, $4, a knife for $3,
$2, $3, yeah.
And then
a little patch kit for a couple dollars as well.
Okay, and then some sandpaper.
Yep.
So here are the 2 products we use today. It's just what we had handy. We've got a spackling. It's a vinyl spackle. That's really easy to use for small holes. And then for the bigger repairs, you want this joint compound or drywall mud. Best thing about them, water cleanup, no special solvents or anything required. So Matt, what would it cost to hire somebody to come fix this for you?
If you had to call a plaster company to come in and take care of this hole for you, it would probably be between $50 and $100 at a bare minimum to have them come in and take care of it.
And we're less than $20.
Less than $20 and a little bit of work for you.
So not that scary. You just might have to take an extra coat every now and then to smooth it out and keep sanding and work till it's smooth, right?
Yeah, looks a little choppy at first, but that's where the sandpaper comes in. You can easily come through. The stuff is real soft, and just keep going over the top of it. There you go. And now you let that dry up.
So when do you sand? Like right away after you put the mud on, or how soon do you?
This you're going to wait till it dries up. It'll be a solid white. You can kind of probably barely just see that. You can see it a little bit on this. They both dry around the same, which is nice and white. This will be nice and white and dry for you.
Great. Okay, Matt. So quick question. What if somebody had a bigger hole in their wall that was a little more difficult to patch, like maybe something the size of an elbow or a knee or something like that?
Those are also easier patches to do. Takes a couple different items to do it. They also make some handy tape to be able to patch that as well.
That'd be nice. At what point do you need to call a professional?
I would say call a professional once you get a much larger hole or an area that just is something around a foot.
Like this?
I would call a professional.
Well, thanks a lot, Matt. I really appreciate the help. I'm sure there's going to be people out there that find this useful.
Absolutely. It's something that you see in your house. You know, maybe not everybody's house, but if you have kids, this stuff happens all too often. And it's something that inherently you don't have to be that afraid of.
Yeah.
It's a much easier fix than it's made out to be for even anybody in the beginner stage of not knowing anything about plaster whatsoever. These items here, especially these two here, you could pick up at Target or Walmart or any of your regular box stores.
Yeah.
And a simple run to Menards could get you these other, and they make larger knives than this as well. But they're all very simple fixes.
That's great. Thank you so much for the help.
You bet.
All right.
See you guys next time.